Hi, it's me again with Corel Draw Tips and Tricks, and this is part 2 of this video. And number 1, right off the bat, I would change your duplicate distance to 0, 0, because I used it a while ago and it really messes up. So what I'm going to do, you've got text to path on this part right here. So we're going to go to Object and break the text apart. I set my nudge distance on 18 inches, get it out of the way. He had a problem with the cow and I didn't see it. So we're going to address that too. Now we're not working in the center of the page anymore. So I'm going to show you another little trick. But he was also talking about how easy it would be to make the text usable again. Well, you can go to text and straighten text and it becomes a straight text again. I'm going to use Arial for it this time. I'm going to make it bold because if it's a plasma cutter, and then you can make a duplicate of that text and make a duplicate of the whole thing and keep changing the names out. So we're going to grab it, go to text, fit text to path, put it on that center where we get the red line. Now you could adjust that, but we need to get that inside there to weld. So I'm going to left click, right click, and I'm also going to convert it to a curve. And you can see we grabbed the whole thing, I think. No, we didn't. It's good. So now we could grab it all. Well, no, we need to make our circle a little bit bigger. And because we're not working in the center of the page, we can hold down the Shift key and just make our circle minutely bigger. Then grab it all and weld it. So we're halfway there. Now we can take our outer circle. We're actually going to go to Object and break text apart and get rid of the form. You would do the same thing. Now, when you weld the outer circle, it doesn't work perfectly. But if you grab it all, you can weld it and it'll get rid of a lot of the lines. So this will save you a lot of time on the virtual segment delete key. Then just take your virtual segment delete key and delete that. And it took the top off all our letters. Then you can just nudge that back over and it's really ready to go. But he also said he had a problem with the cow. And here's how I found out that he did. I can break the curve apart, and there's some inner parts. So what we need to do, I'm afraid if I do this, I'm going to lose the cow's foot. Maybe not. So because we're going to break the curve apart, we can delete that. See, but we deleted the wrong thing. So let's left click, right click, and let's delete the interior part of that, the interior part of that, interior part of that. And I think that's good. Yes, we need that. So what I would suggest now is to weld all this. You should be good to go. Let's just test it with the Smart Fill tool. That looks good. And when you do the Smart Fill tool, you're gonna get the end result. So all this has been welded together. Let's move it over. Let's grab the Smart Fill tool and fill it in. That's what it's gonna look like. Now your Smart Fill tool would have gotten rid of that anyway. Because then when you left click, right click, there's nothing there. It's a part of the cow now and won't cause you any problem, those double lines. So I would just do the same thing for the farm and you should be good to go. That's a pretty neat, and like on the first video, I cleaned up this with the smoothing tool. If you do not have the smoothing tool, which would clean this up really, really fast, but if you do not have the smoothing tool, you can always grab just the shape tool. So I would select them all, right click and turn them into curves, and then just go through and maybe delete some of them. And let's just like delete that guy right there. And see, because it's a curve, we can play with the curves. You know, in plasma cutting, you just don't want a sharp point. And maybe even in the laser, field too, you want to kind of round these off. You don't want real sharp points. And you could even try this. Let's reduce it by 5% or 5. And that took away a lot of the note. Let me back up here. Let me zoom in so you can see this working. We're going to type in 5 and hit enter. And it reduced some of the note. Let's go to 10. Didn't really change anything, but it's a lot better than it was. The smoothing tool would really help you in this case, but if you don't have it, you don't have it. But you could play with this and make these nodes a little more rounder. And I'm not saying that's a must, but I've plasma cut it enough to know that you don't want sharp edges, and it's still going to look like grass. Anyway, I hope that helped him a little bit, and thank you for watching.